The psychological infiltration of leftist ideals into American public schools is ramping up, especially in Fairfax County, Virginia. It's like trying to decode ancient hieroglyphs when you encounter terms like marginalized groups and protected class. Stephanie Lanquist Aurora took it upon herself to reach out to the school administration to shed some light on these mysterious terms. But alas, her quest for clarity was met with a fog thicker than pea soup. Nadas King, the district's chief equity officer, seemed to be keeping the definitions of these terms under lock and key, leaving Stephanie scratching her head in bewilderment. It's almost as if they want to keep us all in the dark, playing a game of hide and seek with the truth. The leftist agenda creeping into their schools is like a mischievous kid wreaking havoc on the principles of meritocracy. By shrouding these terms in ambiguity, they are essentially handing out blindfolds to students, inhibiting their growth and understanding. It's high time we cracked open this Pandora's box of definitions and shed some light on the shadows cast by these vague terms. We need to ensure that students' constitutional rights are safeguarded and that fairness prevails in the realm of education. After all, clarity is the key to enlightenment, and it's about time we unlock the mysteries lurking within the school policies.
Welcome to TFI Global, the antidote to mass delusion.
The American education system seems to be facing an identity crisis orchestrated by the left's relentless march of ideological redefinition. While college campuses echo with monotonous tone of anti-Israel protests, a more insidious battleground is emerging: elementary schools. Here, once straightforward terms like marginalized groups are being twisted and contorted to fit a predetermined narrative. Thankfully, some states like Florida and Alabama are taking a stand, valiantly defending children's education from this ideological onslaught. But the fight is far from over. The so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion movement, a Trojan horse of progressive dogma, has infiltrated the very foundation of our public schools. Take Fairfax County public schools, for example. They stand as a stark emblem of this ideological invasion. Obtaining clear answers from the district's equity officer on these critical issues is akin to chasing phantoms. Their pronouncements are as elusive as smoke, leaving parents and students both bewildered. Terms like marginalized groups float around like nebulous clouds, shaping school policies with the unpredictable force of a capricious wind. As they wrote, and I quote, "While we may not have an official definition for marginalized group, it generally refers to people who face systemic disadvantages and discrimination. This can include women, underrepresented ethnic and racial groups, individuals based on gender identity and sexual orientation, people of various ages, individuals with physical disabilities, and non-native language speakers." End of quote. The district's educational equity policy, with its noble-sounding goal of equal outcomes, descends into a bureaucratic labyrinth. Equality, it seems, is a tangled web woven with obscure definitions and opaque implementation. The future of academically gifted students in this system is as murky as a storm-tossed sea. The concept of protected class adds another layer of confusion. The discriminatory harassment policies appear as impenetrable as a fortress, seemingly offering sanctuary only to a select few. This lack of transparency breeds an environment of utter bewilderment. Even the equity officer's attempts at clarification resemble muddled pronouncements, leaving parents yearning for a beacon of clarity in the storm of ambiguity. When it comes to leftist-dominated school districts influencing our children, it's crucial to challenge their discriminatory language and how it's put into action. If they persist in subjecting America's youth to these questionable practices, I propose the creation of an identity points system. The system would assign a certain value to each child based on factors like race, gender, religion, ethnicity, and more, according to the perspectives of these school administrators. The district's policies themselves are a convoluted mess, a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. Navigating them feels like traversing a labyrinth blindfolded. The left's strategies in this arena resemble a never-ending game of chess where the very definition of the pieces keep shifting. This situation highlights the growing friction within American civil society as progressive liberals increasingly gravitate towards ambiguous leftist interpretations. These interpretations, instead of fostering equality and fairness, tend to foster division and bias in society. This trend underscores the broader ideological divide in the nation, where differing perspectives on social justice and inclusivity continue to clash. Additionally, it raises concerns about the impact of such ideological shifts on societal cohesion and the pursuit of genuine equality. As woke culture gains momentum, there is a pressing need for nuanced discourse and a critical examination of the implications of adopting vague definitions.